Hey, dude. Oh, yeah, what's up?
Have you ever read a book called The Odyssey?
Nah, bro, but I I heard there's a really good podcast. I'm actually listening to it right now. It's called the Odyssey Podcast.
Oh, the Odyssey podcast? Can I take a listen?
Oh yeah. Just put the headphone in. I got you.
Yo, Pierre, you want to come out here?
Hello, I am Carlos Ramirez, and I'm your host on this episode of the Odyssey Podcast. Today, I'm here with two other volunteers that have volunteered to be on this podcast. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys.
Yo, my name's Thomas. I also go to the same class as Carlos in SHC. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Eric. I'm a ninth grader, a freshman.
Thank you guys for volunteering to be on the show. So,
Yeah, no problem.
our first question is about Odysseus, since he is the main character after all. One of my first questions I was asked by the viewers is, what do you believe are some of Odysseus' strengths and weaknesses?
His strength is that he has a lot of strength, of course. He is very, 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 very respectful. He allows people to show him hospitality, and his weaknesses are that his hubris is starting to get the better of him, starting to cloud his judgment, and yeah, basically one of his weaknesses. Another weakness is that temptation, well, mainly because of his men who suffered under strains of temptation, and yeah.
Yes, of course. That is one of the main themes of the Odyssey after all.
Yeah.
His character.
Let me think. His strengths. He is a good leader, although he really needs to work on controlling his men because he really doesn't have any control over them when it comes to their own personal desires. Like his men betrayed him by opening the sack which contained the great winds, which ended up with them getting lost and killed. Let me think of another one. His weaknesses, though. Oh, he's really vulnerable to seduction by women. He had intercourse with other women besides his wife, so yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
He's easily tempted to temptation, as Eric said, and also let me think. Well, yeah, that's basically it, though.
Yeah. The main themes were really that Odysseus was a very arrogant character indeed. Okay. Next question. Would you do anything differently than Odysseus on his journey?
His journey. Oh, I'd obviously be like way more precautious of what I'm doing because Odysseus, he stayed on Circe's island for a whole year instead of like taking off immediately, just so he can be fed well and stuff like that for his own personal desires. Instead of waiting, I'd just try to get home immediately instead of what he did.
Yeah, that's very true. Eric, do you have anything?
Personally, if I were in Odysseus' shoes, I would ditch my crew and go by myself. I would
Really?
by
Elaborate.
myself. Because usually the men is what slows Odysseus down. They were very undisciplined. They were very, 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 very dull-witted. And basically they're just knuckleheads. So I'd rather ditch them.
Yeah, especially what they did with the buffaloes when they broke his promise.
Yeah, that's very true. Odysseus' crew was very disrespectful to him,
Oh
Yeah.
wait, weren't they called cattle?
I think.
I'm not sure what they ate. I'm not sure what they ate. I just knew they weren't supposed to eat the certain animal, and they did when he was sleeping.
All we know is that it's a Helio. It's an
That's a very interesting point actually about the crew. It's a very interesting point. All right. How does Odysseus get treated by others? Does he deserve this? And if so, why?
Wait, Eric, you go first. Oh, I got to think.
Personally, I think Odysseus didn't deserve to be treated, to be mistreated, because of how like his one goal is to just come home, and the fact that many people are mistreating him isn't really like it's not right. It's not right. What should be mistreated is his crew, because his crew is not. It's not in the how can I explain this? It's not. They're not in like the in the perspective of Odysseus. So Odysseus is like But what I'm saying is that Odyssey is more intelligent. He's more he values leadership. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't think the crew members are well disciplined. And yeah, I'm not to say.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah, Odysseus was really hospitable. A lot of hospitality was shown to Odysseus. However, his crew was very disrespectful. Now, this is a spot of the question. What do you guys believe about his crew? Do you believe his crew deserves kindness and compassion and hospitality or not?
No.
No way.
No way.
No
No.
way.
Very strong feelings about this.
Yeah.
I would
It's because of his crew that he wasn't able to get back home because they broke his own orders, and
Yes.
because of their own doings, everyone got.
So basically, they sparked like the suitors. Like basically, they sparked the suitors to come into Penelope's home. That's like because they ate the cattle.
Very
And-
true. Yeah, they did eat the cattle. However, that did technically start everything. So, all
The
right.
funny thing is, they only eat one.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's what that's what I was wondering too. I was like, if you're so hungry, why would you just eat one cattle? It's like
They didn't even stockpile up on the ship. They just like ate it and then went off. They didn't save food for later.
No, right?
Right?
Yeah, I'd like to.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Put yourself in the shoes of one of the crew members, though. I mean, just think.
Crew members? Yeah, I'd be hungry, but like, if they said a god was gonna like curse us and a couple of us would die, no, I'm not risking it.
True. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a tricky situation.
Personally, I really miss the crew member El Penor, the one who rested on Circe's roof, and
Yeah, the one that fell off the roof. Yeah.
I think
The one who died?
Yeah, that's that was an interesting one. Yeah. It was kind of sad that they didn't notice that he left though. Like, just think about
I know.
Dude, he literally broke his neck, fell off a roof, and they were like, "Oh, why are you doing on the island of dead?"
I know, right? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Odysseus.
They didn't even notice like he wasn't on the ship. They were just like, "What?"
Yeah, they were just like, oh, what are you doing here? All right. Yeah, that was the main point of Odysseus's questions. Now we're moving on to
Telemachus.
Now, one of the questions was, how do you think the absence of Odysseus might have affected
Young Telemachus.
It might have
Well-
affected him because usually when he grew up as a child, like his household, it was like run by suitors, so he can basically like he might embody their like the suitors' characteristics, but then no, like he's stuck with his mother's like side, like basically he embodied the values of both Penelope and Odysseus. So I personally think that with Odysseus is gone, like Telemachus doesn't have the proper like father and son moment as in childhood.
That's what I was thinking. Towards the end of the book, however, they did share that moment and killing all the suitors. But my question was, why
Why was Telemachus?
helping Odysseus right away? Like, I feel like if
Yeah.
I would have asked like a couple of questions, like just like somebody just comes up to me like, I'm your dad. Like, that's just gotta be like a bombshell.
Yeah, what I was thinking was that like Odysseus was gone for like, I don't know, like 20 years or something, right?
Yeah,
Like
and his-
most kids, like when most kids, like Telemachus is probably like a kid when he left. Like most kids, when their dad like leaves for years and comes back later, they like resent their dads for not being there when they were a kid. So I'm surprised that he was like really open to and giving open arms when he just came back. He was like, "I'm back." It's just like,
that's
what?
crazy too. Yeah. Although we really do have to commend them for keeping the secret, though. They did keep the secret. That's what I was surprised at. I was really surprised at Odysseus' ability to keep a secret.
Yeah, I was
that
surprised that
was
Telemachus was
shocking.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. All right. Now, the second question was, how does looking for Odysseus
Motivate and inspire Telemachus.
Well, I guess. Wait. So can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, it's a pretty tricky question. How does looking for Odysseus motivate and
Inspire Telemachus.
I guess I'll go first. They kind of like lay it off. I'd say for
Yeah.
this one, I'd say
Telemachus.
the journey for Odysseus really shaping him up. It kind of like motivated him, and it kind of grew on it. He kind of matured during the trip, because it took a lot of courage to actually like get up and say, I'm gonna look for my father. and everyone just didn't know. They didn't know if he was alive. They all just thought he was like dead. So I feel like it really matured.
Telemachus.
His dad came home. He was more ready to face the suitors. You know, like for example, that one scene where I forgot which suitor threw something at Odysseus, who was in disguise at the time, and Telemachus stood up for him.
Antinous or
I
something?
think his name was something like that.
Yeah,
and
Antinous
like,
or something. Antinous.
Yeah.
It's like Antinous.
Yeah.
The one who threw the chair.
Head suitor, right?
yeah, and it was like I feel like in that moment it really showed like how Telemachus came from like the beginning of the series, not really knowing, to now like just being really mature and being able to like stand up to them.
Yeah, because he grew as a person and matured when he was looking for his father. Like he was able to experience all these experiences that like I don't know, sophisticated him to some degree. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, now we're going on to Penelope. How does her loyalty and faith for Odysseus get tested?
Dude, she waited 20 years. She's loyal.
Yeah, I was
Holding out. He's been holding out.
I was just like, wow, man, like for 20 years waiting on Odysseus, not knowing if he's dead, not knowing, like hearing all of that, dealing
Yeah,
with.
and she gave other like the suitors food and stuff for all that time. Like
I don't know,
what?
man. Like she was just really mature about it. Like I don't know. Would you guys have done anything different if you were Penelope?
Okay, 20 years is a long time. I would have moved on to like a couple years
I would
in.
have gave up already.
I would have moved on. But like
I don't know.
but like the
man.
5-year mark, I'll be like, not sure.
Yeah,
5 to 10 year
like,
max.
I don't know. And
Hey.
having, I don't know. And the knit too. The knitting of I forgot what it was, but it was like she was knitting something, but every night she would like. That's
right?
really, yeah, that was really smart. That was a really smart idea. All right, now we're on to the goddess Athena. How does this god use her powers to impact Odysseus in a good way? And how does her loyalty and support of Odysseus get rewarded?
Odysseus got back home. With her aid, he was able to ensure a guaranteed journey back home. It's like when he was fighting the suitors, like Athena was protecting them. Without her, there would have been like a way higher chance for him to get killed or some kind of injury.
I agree.
Yeah, that was a really huge point. Odysseus really did have a lot of help. Although, however, with the god Poseidon, what would you guys do if you guys were Poseidon? Honestly, hearing that the Cyclops,
I mean,
son,
Dude.
okay. If I had a son or a daughter who got blinded by a person, I would get pissed.
yeah, man.
Too.
I mean,
Dude, I'd be disappointed. He's a huge monster. He got outwitted by a man.
yeah, I mean, I'd be mad too, man. I mean, imagine your son being like, "Yo, Dad, I just got stabbed in the eye." Like, oh my gosh. I feel like that's like every parent's worst nightmare at that point.
But
Bro,
it's amazing. It's amazing how Poseidon like never ever killed it like this.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I was like, Poseidon really.
Dude, he's a god. He didn't kill him. You're a human. He was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, remember with the other gods though, they were keeping Poseidon in check. They were not letting him do that much to Odysseus, as I remember.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. How all the gods were in Odysseus' favor.
Yeah, they were really all in Odysseus' favor. It was just really Poseidon that was just like kind of like doing all of
Yeah,
that.
'cause he's the only one who really got affected.
Basically,
Yeah.
Poseidon was like, "Huh? What? Come on, my bros! Like what? Why?
Bro, bro, he killed my son. Why you liking Odysseus over me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like,
Because one day we felt bad for him, and then we decided to send Athena to help him.
yeah. All right, this is a spring of the moment question too. What do you guys think were some of the major key points of hospitality throughout the series?
Well, obviously, those are probably best represented when Odysseus was trying to get back home and met with what's the name? It starts with a
With
P.
the king, it was.
It's the Phaeacians. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
the kings inside. I remember the story about the kings inside of the big gold walls with the wind king.
Oh yeah. He gave like one of the great winds or something.
Yeah.
Oh, what's
Just-
that from? I forgot. It starts with an A or something.
Is it King Alcino's?
Something. Oh, I think it's Aleo less something.
Yeah, it's
Aleos.
Alcino or something.
I don't really remember. I just know he had a good looking beard. That's all I remember.
Good looking beard.
Dude, he had, bro, it looked fine. Okay, yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
And this concludes the first episode of the Odyssey Podcast. Next episode, we will go more in depth about topics such as Odysseus and his hubris. But in the meantime, enjoy a quick commercial break. It's your host of the Odyssey Podcast, Carlos Ramirez here, and I'm actually here with a sponsor. Today we are sponsored by botbookspdfs.com. You're probably wondering, what's botbookspdf.com? And botbookpdf.com is a website where if you've ever lost a book or if you've ever bought any book, there should be a code inside of it. And with this specific code, you can then access our PDF website and have it installed onto your phone. So, in reality, it's kind of like when you buy a Blu-ray movie. When you buy a Blu-ray movie, you put in the code, boom, you can watch it anywhere. Same thing with the book. Smart idea. I don't know who hasn't come up with this. Now, if you use our promo code, Odyssey, you will get 15% off on our website. It's true. You can check it out. It's a real website. Just go to www.botbookspdf.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring the video.